going to New York! I've been wanting to go to New York for a very long time. My fiance has laughed at the amount of times I've sung Frank Sinatra's New York, New York in my worst old-timey voice. And he wasn't too excited because he likes going places that are more laid back, whereas I kinda like chaotic environments sometimes. It's kinda exciting for me, but it's more so us being in a different place other than home. Or maybe it's the fact that I was delirious and had to get up at 2:30 a.m. to catch our flight at LAX, which I'm more than happy to do for a trip because doing that for work isn't as fun. As excited as I was to go to New York, I was not satisfied with the fact that we can only stay one full day. One day! This is our checklist. The Tribeca Film Festival, Hamilton on Broadway, visit Central Park, which is a dream come true for me, get bagels, chopped cheese, pastrami from Katz's Deli, and pizza. I don't know how we're gonna do it all, but if there is one thing about me, I am resilient until I need a nap.
From Ghana. No, cassava.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, cassava and plantain mixed together. Some people can eat a lot. Because it's her first time. Pano fish.
I love pompano.
Oh, I love it too.
My first impression of the city kind of met my expectations. Maybe I'm just glamorizing it. It is the first day after all. We ended up staying at the public hotel, which was very, it kind of reminded me of Dune, but with plants and iPads. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of awesome just stepping into the hotel. It was pretty cool, and it made me reflect a lot on mine and my fiance's journey to get to this point in our lives, because when we first started dating, there was a lot of struggle. Money was pretty tough, and the thought of even doing a weekend getaway or eating at a nice restaurant would financially cripple us, but at this point, so much has changed in our own freelance businesses that going here to see a documentary that he's worked on end up in the Tribeca Film Festival was pretty amazing. But first, we're gonna get food.
1, 2, 3.
It looks so scary. Man, this is huge. So this is the Reuben.
Sorry,
It's so no, it's okay. It's hard to pick these up, but they're so good.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Okay, that was very filling, and I'm glad that we just ate one sandwich between us two, because normally we would take one sandwich for each of us, but you know, new year, new me. We are not overeating this year. After our very first meal in New York, we just walked around the neighborhoods and explored, and this is exactly what I wanted to do here, weirdly enough. It sounds kind of boring, but I just love walking around, especially if it's a new place and a new city that's hoppin' like New York City. I really wanted to take it in, and I felt like the people in the movies or in Sex and the City, and being in that environment was weirdly exciting for me. I don't know if you feel the same way.
That's my point. If you don't know how to do something, why don't you just give it up?
And there we were in Times Square. It was kind of, no, it's not kind of, it was nuts. It reminded me of the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but times 1,000 and on steroids. We were off to see Hamilton, and I honestly didn't think I could survive through it. And I was only running on a few hours of sleep, but I wanted to make my New York experience complete. So hopefully I don't fall asleep.
This is your king, George III. Welcome to Hamilton. At this time, please silence all cell phones and other electronic devices. All photography and audio or video recording is strictly prohibited.
Yeah, I fell asleep. Only for a few minutes though, and I felt a little guilty, but your girl was tired. But don't worry, I didn't miss a lot of it, and you're probably gonna hate me for this, but I kind of wanted to leave. Not because I've already watched it, but I was just itching to explore the rest of the city. The only thing was, it was 10:15 p.m. Most restaurants close at 11 p.m., and we wanted to fill our bellies up with something slightly healthier other than hot dogs, and the closest place to us was a 30-minute walk on the way back to our hotel. But it was pretty cool because along the way, we got to see the Empire State Building on accident. We saw Madison Square Garden on accident, and soon enough, we were too tired to do the rest of the walk, so we took a cab so we can make it in time for dinner.
2nd Avenue and 11th Street.
Good night. Alright, at this point in the trip, I was like, yo, we're really here. We're in New York. And it's one of those moments where I didn't think about my food for once, if that makes sense. If you can relate to this, if you've had body image issues before, if you've worried about your food and what it's doing to your body, and just the anxiety around it, I didn't feel it at this moment. I was just living life. I have acquired the food. So I got a curry.
That was so fast.
Yeah.
Oh, careful, look.
I got a vegetable curry clay pot. And then you got mee goreng.
Chicken mee goreng.
Chicken mee goreng. I didn't worry about what my body looks like. And it's pretty awesome because at this moment, I was just excited to be in the city. I was excited to just have food. And the thought that crossed my mind was, whoa, isn't it cool that now I'm thinking of filling myself up with nutritious foods, not worrying about the calories in it, but also being mindful at the same time because I know that calories do matter when it comes to my fat loss goals. I didn't worry about it. And I want to feel this way all the time, and I know it's not realistic, but the best that I could do is just have a better relationship with food and my own health. This is yours. This is the mee goreng. You want to try?
So I have cousins and aunts and uncles all over. Jonathan, but he's at his summer home in
You're walking right over the subway.
Anything goes.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's his local
Oh, the breakfast bowl looks good.
You can tell it's the dinner.
But
Yeah, with close family.
Not the ceremony. We're gonna,
Okay. Now, just say something to each other and go.
30 minutes on the beach.
Yeah.
Will you wear a tux? Suit? No. Okay.
I don't know.
How do I get rid of this?
Fun fact, in college, I was on track to become a mechanical engineer. Then at the end of my second year, I looked around in one of my physics classes and I thought to myself, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen. I can't live like this. Stuck in a room, being in a 9-to-5 just isn't it for me. So I took the easy way out. I've been an artist my whole life, so I thought, why not finish with something easy like an art degree? And so I did. It was more out of convenience, like I didn't want to get stuck in college for another year or two just because I didn't want to do engineering. Luckily, my parents understood because I was the one paying back my student loans. Instead of going towards the traditional route, I took my art degree with student loans to pay back, and less than a year later, I started building my personal training business. It kind of just fell into my lap. I got into it after quitting this terrible sales job that I was in. It was soul-sucking. But I had quit making any type of art since 2016 until recently. I thought to myself, what's the point of this? This doesn't make me any money. It's just a waste of time. Sure, it brings me joy, but whatever. That sounds so horrible. Like, who cares about this because it doesn't make me money? It's like saying, who cares about my mental health because it doesn't automatically reward me with money? Such a backwards way to think. The more I talk to my parents and older people, they all kind of say the same thing. They always tell me, don't sweat the small stuff, you'll waste your life away doing that. Instead, try to find little moments and things that bring you joy. That's important. So I made an intentional practice the past few months to just start creating. Whether it's a small sketch, a large abstract painting, or creating videos, it all adds up to my creativity and joy. Hopefully you find your own little joys in your day-to-day life, whether it's your favorite coffee, walking down your favorite street, or taking the time to make your favorite dish.
Some fruit for home, or do we come back this way? From the bank.
At this point of the trip, I was excited. We're sightseeing, we're walking around Manhattan. I'm seeing all the buildings that the movies have shown. Then I heard, let's go to Central Park. It's finally happening. I've always wanted to see Central Park. It reminds me of the end of Rush Hour 2 when Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker ended up ditching their plans and catching a flight together. Jackie Chan says, I've always wanted to see Madison Square Garden. But for me, it was Central Park. I know, I'm such a tourist, but it just looks so cool. Like, it's such a huge park. And you can see all the city's buildings from there, and people watching. But then, the rain. We thought it would go away, but we ended up turning our cab around. I felt like all my hopes and dreams were crushed in that moment. It's so dramatic. But I really wanted to see Central Park. But you know what? Not all hope was lost, because we ended up going around Washington Square Park on the way back to the hotel. And I really couldn't complain. We were on this incredible trip with great people, so that's what counted. And we're about to get more food.
Whoa, there's like...
We're gonna go to Russ and Daughters, get bagels, black and whites.
Took just an alleyway and made a beautiful garden. Let's read it out.
Yeah, well, the trees look old too.
It's a Green Thumb community garden.
Oh, push!
Cinnamon roll as well.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll do the everything. Scallion cream cheese.
Garlic bagel with plain cream cheese.
Just want to take a closer look at it. Got it.
Dr. Brown's. Original cream soda. Pastrami cured smoked salmon.
I know. This belly lock looks so good. Six. Thick parchment paper. It's like more whipped than a regular like cream cheese that you'd get in the store. It's like fluffier.
Yeah.
The lox is really good. Let's see what the hype is about. It was finally time for the premiere. Even though we didn't get to see Central Park, the main reason why we went on this trip was to see the documentary that my fiance worked on. And it was so cute to see him and his film school friends celebrate their hard work. It made me think about how important it is to celebrate our milestones, no matter how big or small. And isn't it crazy that it just takes little steps day by day to add up to something bigger? I was talking to my personal training clients today, and we were all like, why are we always in such a rush to accomplish everything? Isn't it exhausting? I don't want to live life like this all the time. That's why it's important to get out of your own bubble, to see other people's journeys and accomplishments and what it took to get there. It really gets things into perspective and instills more patience within me, because I can get real impatient. I want things to happen fast, but it's also okay that it doesn't happen quickly. As long as you're chipping away at it day by day, it'll happen no matter what.
And we want to thank HBO Sports Documentaries for bringing us this film.
We designed our lighting to do that.
Well,
They never got this.
lighting there.
Yep. Okay. Oh yeah. But it is a lot harder to light in a kind of basically
It's our last night in New York. We're just walking around.
Walking around Soho.
The night is alive! At this point in the trip, I was thinking, oh no, we only have this last night and we haven't even had pizza or chopped cheese yet. We had to eat a more gut-friendly dinner because my fiance's mom has a sensitive stomach, so we wanted to be careful. Now we are on the hunt for chopped cheese, but we don't know where to start, so we just start looking around on Yelp, but it was kind of hard to find. So we started asking the locals and we got to one spot, but unfortunately they had closed down the stove. So we walked into a grocery store and one of the workers was so helpful. She told us to just walk 1 block from there and they have really good chopped cheese. I'm in a bodega.
How do we open this?
Ooh, that's good.
It's good, right?
It's like sweet malt.
It's a lot more simple than I thought.
I don't know how to describe it. It's like a sweet smokiness in a drink.
And that's it.
It's good. It's the chopped cheese.
It's really good.
My first chopped cheese. Yeah. It's just basically like a really good cheeseburger.
It's a really good cheeseburger.
Sandwich roll.
Really good.
Instead of a hamburger bun. Last day in New York.
Hey.
Hi.
It's coming. No, I worked out before.
I heard pierogies are good.
I'll do the weekday breakfast with kielbasa. Even though we didn't get to see Central Park, I'm still so grateful for the experience. We got to see so many things in such a little amount of time, and this Ukrainian breakfast from Veselka, it was a nice surprise. And that's what I love about traveling, is experiencing new places, especially different cuisines, because I feel like that's the best way to connect with people. You really know about the history and the resourcefulness of people. While we were eating breakfast, I learned a lot more about my fiance's mom's history with her family, and it was nice to not think about work or business for once. We could all use times like these. It doesn't have to be such a big weekend trip, but taking time for yourself to just lean back, relax, and enjoy good food with good company, I think you'll be a lot happier. At least I am. Bye, hotel room. See ya. After breakfast, we had packed up, said goodbye to my fiance's mom, and left our luggage in a parcel locker so we can grab some food for the airport nearby the hotel. And then my fiance and I looked at each other and we had agreed. Let's try to go to Central Park one more time. The only issue was the traffic was kind of insane. It was a Thursday and the streets were busy. Lunch rush clogged up all the taxis and sidewalks. We hailed a cab and asked our driver to drop us off at Central Park. He asked us, which part? And we were like, the closest spot to us? I don't know. And he was like, say less. As we were dodging all the traffic, I kid you not, we were at a dead stop. Is this a sign that I'm just not meant to see Central Park? I was nervous. In order for us to make it to Central Park, explore it for at least 20 minutes, we'd have to hop out of the taxi. And so we did. We fast walked while we were looking at our maps, and then the moment came. We finally made it to Central Park. It met my expectations. It was glorious, kind of messy in some parts, but overall, it was everything I had seen in the movies. Again, I love to romanticize a lot of things, but I felt so much joy while I was there. Every spot I saw, I thought to myself, ooh, I could lie down there and draw. Oh, a spot to have an afternoon picnic. And I just want to walk around everywhere in this park. We had finally crossed off one of the biggest things on the list. The only thing left that we didn't get to do was pizza. But if you've hung out with me, you'll know that I love to squeeze every drop of every second. After Central Park, we rushed to get our pizza nearby our hotel, and we got a lift right on time for our flight back home. And just like that, we completed the list. I would have wanted more time in New York, but we managed to squeeze in every single thing I wanted to do. I'll be back again, and I'll make more time for more adventures and cuisines in the city. If you're a real one, comment Chopped Cheese Chronicles in the comments. That'll let me know you watched the whole thing. Again, this is Claudine, and I'll see you next time. Bye!